Hello and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, the show that decodes the science behind our daily lives. Have you ever felt like you're in a battle with your own body? You're eating clean, hitting the gym, doing everything by the book, but the number on the scale just stares back, refusing to move. It's a uniquely frustrating feeling, and one that millions of us share. But what if the instruction manual for your body's weight management system wasn't in a diet book, but was actually written in your DNA? Today, we're diving into the revolutionary world of nutrigenomics and asking the big question: can a DNA diet unlock the secret to your health goals? So let's get into the code. While your lifestyle choices are absolutely critical, they're not the whole story. Scientists have found hundreds of genes that influence everything, from how hungry you feel, to how fast your metabolism runs, to where your body decides to store fat. Think of it less like a fixed destiny and more like a set of predispositions. One of the most famous genetic players is the FTO gene, sometimes called the fatso gene. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. Certain variations of this gene are linked to an increased risk of obesity because they can make you feel hungrier and less full after eating. People with these variants might have higher levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Another key player is the MC4R gene, which helps regulate your appetite and energy balance. Variations here can also predispose someone to carrying more body fat. But here's the most important part. Your genes are not an on/off switch. They're more like a dimmer switch. You can't change the wiring, but a healthy lifestyle can turn that switch way down, significantly reducing the impact of these genetic tendencies. This brings us to the DNA diet itself. So what is it? At its core, it's a nutrition plan, hyper-personalized to your unique genetic profile. The process usually starts with something as simple as a saliva sample or a cheek swab that you send off to a lab. The lab then analyzes specific markers in your DNA to create a detailed report. This report can tell you how your body is genetically wired to process carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It can reveal if you have a predisposition for needing more of certain vitamins, like B12, or if you might be sensitive to things like lactose or gluten. It can even shed light on your eating behaviors, like your appetite and feeling of fullness. Based on this blueprint, a personalized plan is created. For example, if you have that FTO gene variant we talked about, your plan might suggest focusing on a diet rich in protein and fiber to help you feel fuller for longer. If your genes suggest you don't absorb calcium well, you might be encouraged to eat more dairy or fortified foods. The goal is to stop fighting your body and start working with its natural inclinations. This all sounds great in theory, but does the science back it up? The field of nutrigenomics is still young, but the evidence is growing. Clinical trials have shown that when people follow a diet tailored to their genetics, they often see better results than those following generic advice. One study found that people on DNA-based diets were not only more likely to stick to their plans, but they also achieved greater weight loss and better blood sugar control. It makes sense, right? Knowing your diet is designed specifically for your biology can be a huge motivator. What's even more fascinating is a concept called epigenetics. This means your diet can actually influence how your genes are expressed. It can help turn the good genes on and the bad genes off. This highlights just how powerful the connection between our food and our genes really is. Now, before you rush out to buy a DNA test, it's time for a critical look. This technology is promising, but it's not a magic bullet, and the industry has its issues. Firstly, many experts argue the science is still in its infancy. We've identified gene-diet links, but we don't understand the full, complex picture yet. Secondly, beware of the single gene fallacy. Your weight isn't controlled by one or two genes. It's a complex dance between hundreds of genes and your environment. And this leads to a bigger problem. The direct-to-consumer genetic testing market is largely unregulated. The quality and scientific validity of tests can vary wildly from one company to the next, and most importantly, a DNA test is just one piece of the puzzle. It doesn't know your medical history, your current health, or your lifestyle. That's why it is absolutely essential to work with a qualified professional, like a registered dietitian who specializes in nutrigenomics, to interpret your results and build a safe and effective plan. As we look ahead, the future of personalized nutrition looks incredibly bright. Imagine combining your genetic data with real-time information from your smartwatch, tracking your activity, sleep, and stress levels. AI and machine learning could then create a dynamic diet plan that adapts to your needs day by day. We're also just scratching the surface of understanding the gut microbiome and how it interacts with our genes and our diet. Of course, with all this personal data comes important ethical questions about privacy and who gets access to this technology, which we as a society will need to navigate carefully. So, is a DNA diet right for you? The link between our genes and our weight is undeniable. While it's not a cure-all, it can be an incredibly powerful tool for understanding your body on a much deeper level. It represents a major shift away from the frustrating, one-size-fits-all approach to dieting, moving us towards something more precise, personal, and sustainable. If you've been stuck on your health journey, exploring your genetics could offer the insights you've been missing. But remember to approach it with curiosity and caution. Choose a reputable company and always work with a qualified expert to guide you. The secret to your success might just be encoded in your DNA, waiting for you to unlock it. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious.